What up, guys? Listen, today I want to talk about building credit for college students. I want to talk about building credit for college students, right? And I talk about this in a new print book that's coming up. One of the first things I want to say is when we're introduced to college, a lot of times we're introduced to what is called student loan debt, right? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, right? How many people was introduced to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac when they begin college, right? Now, typically, a lot of people go to school uh, fresh out of high school, maybe 18, 19 years old, up into your early 20s, right? And one of the main things is how do I build credit as a college student successfully, right? So that when you're out of college, once you complete your 4 years of college, you are now able to successfully start to build and maintain your credit, right? Now, I've mentioned this in a previous video, guys. Me personally, I've started my credit journey with the Discover It student credit card, right? If you are a student, if you are in school, this is a great credit card, not only to help you build your credit, but to pay for a lot of those extra expenses that we do have when it comes to books, when it comes to tuition, when it comes to transportation, room and boarding. A lot of times, financial aid does not suffice. So one of the best ways to start building your credit in college is to get a student credit card. And that does not mean go to the bookstore and go crazy and go to the school store and buy everything up. It means that you have this credit at your disposal because now you have a revolving line of credit. You got your first trade line. Congratulations, right? And I don't want you guys to sleep on it because Discover alone helped me to build my credit score to a 700 with just one credit card, right? Secondly, I talked about student loans. I talked about how student loans are our first introduction to debt a lot of times, right? Because when you're coming out of high school, you don't have a car. When you're coming out of high school, you don't really have any bills because a lot of times you're coming from home. So our first true bill is a student loan. So we want to get familiar with student loans. We want to understand what's the difference between private loan, public loans, government loans, federal loans. You want to really understand the difference because the interest rates are very, very expensive with student loans, right? And when you graduate school, they give you 6 months to pay your student loans. That 6 months go really, really fast. So it's a good idea to know not only how much money you owe in student loan debt, but what can you do to actually make this change and get on track to be able to pay these people right away, right? So you don't have to necessarily put your student loans in deferment, right? And we could do a whole nother video on deferring student loans and things like that. Thirdly is piggybacking, 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 right? A lot of people came from home. Some people came from home with people that got good credit. Ask your family members. It's not going to hurt. If you have a mom, if you have a brother, if you have a sister that is responsible with their credit, it does not hurt to ask them, hey, is it okay for me to piggyback off of your credit, right? Piggybacking is such a great way and it's such an easy way to help you build credit and get your first line of credit, right? I always talk to you guys about secure credit. So that's secure credit cards, secure loans. If you guys watch my videos, you know what secure credit is. So we're not going to go over there. But secure is a great way to get started and start building your credit. Alright? Now, at the beginning of the video, guys, I talked about how you can have access to credit cards, but it is super important to be responsible. It is important, in my opinion, guys, to begin early, to be wisely, and responsible, right? And I have this right here on this sideboard. It is important to be early because the earlier you are, you're beginning your credit history early on from 18. So by the time you're 28, you have 10 years of credit history. Being wisely is understanding that while you're young, that you need to be able to maintain this credit and you don't want to mess it up so that by the time 10 years from now, you're trying to repair it. And being responsible is making sure that whatever money you use, you make sure you can afford and you are willing to pay back what you agreed upon, right? And I say this whole message and I talk about college. Not only that, guys, some people start college later in life. So it's never too late. If you're in that position, you're in credit college right now, and you're 45, it is not too late. You can still get a student credit card. But we got to be responsible because we don't want to start to rebuild our credit at 28, 30, when we could have started fresh, started early. early, started from the beginning, and actually made the changes necessary, so we're not trying to reverse engineer things in the future, right? It is super important to be responsible. I think it's even important to start early so that you're able to build that history over time. So 10 years from now, when you go to get a loan from a bank, they see you have been responsible with credit for 10 years. So if you are a college student or just graduating, guys, take these tips. Use this to build your credit. Get started. It's never too early. It's never too late. I want you guys to like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell because I will be dropping new content. Peace out.